So if you are watching this part, then you've obviously seen my news. I am pregnant. Now, I wanted to sit down because it's a little bit of a backstory, a little bit long. I'm gonna try to condense it as much as possible, but right now, my husband and I have been trying to have a baby for, I want to say 8 or 9 years, maybe even 10. No, I'm wrong. It's not 10. My son is a 9. We got together when my son was 1. So it is about 8.5 years that we have been trying to have a baby. We were not using protection ever. Now, some of this stuff might be TMI. I should have prefaced that beforehand. But we were really never using protection because we were always in our mind okay with if we got pregnant. But it wasn't happening. It wasn't, you know, nothing, months and months would go by. Then for the past, I want to say 5 years, I have had really crazy periods where I would get a period maybe once or twice a year. It was just like, how can we even try to get pregnant? You know, it was so discouraging. I was in all these forums, all these Facebook groups on infertility, and I saw doctors. Some doctors said, you know, maybe it's your weight. Realistically, I completely understand that. I have gained, you know, weight over the years, and this is not my biggest. I was actually 100 pounds heavier than what I am now. I went on the ketogenic diet and I lost weight, and I lost 100 pounds, and my thing keeps going in and out of focus. There we go. So it's probably because I'm moving around a lot. So as I was saying, basically we have not had any luck. I saw a doctor like 6 years ago that said, you know, there's nothing wrong. I don't think your weight really has anything to do with it. You've already had 2 children. Now, I've already explained this in another video. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to go into it too much, but my kids are my husband's like stepkids, I guess that would be considered. They are not biologically his. That is the word I'm looking for. Obviously he loves them as their, you know, as if they were his own. He's helped take care of them and raise them, but it's also been like a village effort. But that's, you know, different in and of itself. He and I have always wanted to have at least one that we...
Lightning has been detected near your location.
We have a crazy storm. Well, not crazy, but it's thunderstorming out. Anyways, we've always wanted to have one together, at least, you know. And we prayed and we prayed, and I prayed a lot. I begged God. I pleaded with God. I got angry at God. And I just didn't understand, you know. I felt like I was doing everything right. And I read this one devotion one time that talked about infertility like very differently than like, and I don't mean it harshly by any means, but they talked about it like less of a, you know, poor me. It is a poor us. Those that struggle with infertility, it's heartbreaking and it hurts and it's sad, and you know, I'm not saying poor you, poor me as a bad thing. It really is poor us. Like some people, you know, that don't want to get pregnant and they don't want it, you know, and I'm not going to go into that, but you know, it's just sad. And then we were like, all right, maybe we're supposed to adopt. And we would still love to adopt, whether or not we had another child of our own or, you know, adopted a child of our own. we always wanted to have, you know, 3 or 4. So I was reading a devotion, and this devotion had talked about more like, she was saying more like, yes, those that don't even have one child, you know, I can't even imagine to feel that pain. My children are my whole world. They are, I mean, yeah, most parents shouldn't say it, but they are my best friends. I maybe are not their best friend, if that makes sense, because I have to be their parent first, but they are my best friends. I love them dearly. And I love to spend time with them and just be silly and goofy and everything else. But she said that we needed to be content in our we need to be content with what we have. And I know that sounds easy but kind of hard to say. In my eyes, what that meant for me is that I needed to be okay with only ever having Kira and Caleb as my children. And that was a really hard pill to swallow. That was really hard because I want, and what our world is consumers. We want things, and what we want it now. We don't want to wait for it. We don't want, you know, if we want to be pregnant, we want to be pregnant right now. We want to, you know, have that opportunity to have a baby. We want to have that opportunity to carry and share it with someone we love. And that's what I wanted. I wanted something that I felt like sealed our marriage. And then I realized I am so blessed to have the children that I have. I'm so blessed to have the husband that I have. And you know what? If this is all the children that God wants us to have in our life, then so be it. That is what we're meant to have. And, you know, I wouldn't say, oh, well, after I came to that realization, now I'm pregnant. It was still another 2 years, no, 3 years after that. See, my husband just came back from deployment a couple months ago. January, 2 months ago. Yeah, like literally 2 months ago now. And everybody at my work, everybody that I go to church with, everybody that is my friends or family, they all said within the first month or 2, you're gonna get pregnant. And I said, we have tried for like 8 years, 9 years. I don't think that's gonna happen. And the first month went by and I was like, oh, maybe I'm pregnant. Nope, I wasn't. And we were not trying this month. We are actually in the middle of trying to focus on buying a house and doing that stuff. We have not been thinking about trying to have a baby, you know, but obviously we're adults and adults do adult things, and I didn't think twice of it. I didn't, you know, until my stomach started hurting. And even then it was like, because I'm a worrier, I automatically was thinking the worst about my stomach pain. Well, this is happening, that is happening, and blah, 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 blah. And now I feel like maybe that's all it was, you know. I don't know how far along I am. I don't know, you know, anything. I really don't. All I know is that I took 6 tests and all 6 came out positive, blatantly positive, not a squinter, nothing. And I'm just beyond, I can't even, you know. I go to the doctor tomorrow, and I was going to the doctor for my stomach pain. So, you know, I'm hoping, like I said, I'm a worrier. I tend to work myself up and worry too much. I am hoping that that it's true. All 6 tests were true, and I'm hoping that everything is okay. You know, nothing like an ectopic pregnancy or anything like that.
A flash flood warning has been issued for your location.
But I you know, I'm gonna put it in God's hands. And I decided already that, you know, if something is not right, or if it's not true, the tests were lying. I mean,
Lightning has been
what are the
detected
odds
near
of
your
it? I don't
location.
know. I don't want to play that game, but I'm going to relish in the happiness that I feel right now. I'm going to relish, you know, this goes the same for if somebody miscarries. Relish the feeling that you have right now. You know, if you just found out you're pregnant like me, relish that before you go and tell everybody. And I've already told some people, but before you go and, you know, everything, just you and your man, relish that. You know, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, what the test at the doctor's office is going to say, if she'll run it. I don't know what any of this is going to be like. I really don't. But what I do know is that I'm going to relish today. I'm going to be happy today. And I'm in shock, but I'm so happy. I just can't believe it. I really thought I would cry, but I'm not crying, so I don't know what that's about. But yeah, I'm pregnant.